The Ultimate Fighter is a popular reality television series that has been running since 2005. Each season, fighters from across the world compete for a chance to earn a contract with the UFC. On March 22, 2023, the 31st season of the show premiered, and it is set to feature a lineup of promising young prospects and veterans, under the tutelage of coaches Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. McGregor and Chandler are both accomplished fighters in their own right, with McGregor holding a record of 22 wins and 5 losses, and Chandler holding a record of 23 wins and 6 losses. As coaches, they will be responsible for training and mentoring the fighters on their respective teams as they compete in a series of elimination fights. Fans of the show can expect to see some of the most exciting and promising fighters in the sport, as well as some seasoned veterans who are looking to make a comeback. One of the standout features of this season of TUF is the emphasis on international fighters. In addition to competitors from the United States, the show features fighters from Canada, Brazil, Russia, and several other countries. This adds an extra layer of diversity and excitement to the show. Then, there is the coaching matchup between McGregor and Chandler. McGregor is known for his flashy fighting style and his ability to hype up a crowd. Chandler is a more reserved and technical fighter who is known for his wrestling and grappling skills.
Under 2 minutes to go in the round. There's that left hand.
Oliveira's in trouble. He's in real trouble.
Oliveira in the world of trouble early.
Fans can expect to see some interesting clashes of styles and techniques, as the fighters on each team are coached by these two very different fighters. With a lineup of promising young fighters, an emphasis on international talent, and two of the sport's most exciting fighters as coaches, this season promises to be one of the best yet. But there is already some controversy, specifically around the behavior of one of the coaches, Conor McGregor. Who else? MMA fighter Anthony Smith has come out in defense of McGregor, saying that everyone is taking the opportunity to all over him. The controversy seems to stem from a scene in the first episode of the season, where McGregor is seen throwing a chair across the room during a team selection process. Many fans and fellow fighters have criticized McGregor for his behavior, saying that it sets a bad example for the young fighters on the show and sends the wrong message about sportsmanship and respect. However, Anthony Smith has a different perspective on the situation. In a recent interview, he defended McGregor, saying that the scene was taken out of context and that people are unfairly targeting McGregor for their own gain. Smith went on to say that McGregor's behavior is not as bad as it is being portrayed, and that he is simply passionate about the sport and invested in the success of his team. The controversy surrounding McGregor and TUF 31 is just the latest in a series of high-profile incidents involving the Irish fighter. McGregor has always been known for his brash personality and his willingness to speak his mind, but some fans and fellow fighters have criticized him for going too far at times. While opinions are divided on the matter, one thing is for sure: McGregor's behavior on TUF 31 will be closely watched and scrutinized by fans and critics alike. Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev also recently made headlines when he voiced his opinion on the potential matchup between Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor. In an interview with MMA Junkie, Makhachev suggested that the fight may have been staged as a money fight, and that Chandler was hand-picked as an opponent for McGregor. Makhachev's comments came in response to speculation that Chandler and McGregor may face off in a highly anticipated fight soon. Chandler, a former Bellator champion, recently made his UFC debut with an impressive first-round knockout of Dan Hooker.
And look at the immediate... Oh! Big knockdown for Michael Chandler! Big right hand, Dan's hurt. Hooker covering up!
It's over!
Michael Chandler! Maximizing the debut!
And McGregor is one of the biggest stars in the sport, known for his showy fighting style and his ability to stir up a crowd. However, Makhachev believes that the fight is more about making money than about determining the best fighter in the division. He also believes McGregor should focus on fighting the top contenders in the division, rather than taking on opponents who are hand-picked for him. While Makhachev's comments are sure to ruffle some feathers in the MMA community, they do raise some interesting points about the current state of the sport. With the UFC being a business as much as a sport, it's not uncommon for fighters to be matched up based on their ability to draw a crowd and generate revenue. However, the question of whether this approach is good for the sport in the long run is one that remains to be answered. For now, it remains to be seen whether the potential matchup between Chandler and McGregor will actually come to fruition. If it does, it will undoubtedly be one of the biggest fights of the year, and a chance for both fighters to prove their worth in the highly competitive lightweight division. Despite rumors and speculation about a potential matchup between McGregor and Chandler, Makhachev doesn't believe that McGregor is actually interested in the fight. His comments reflect a common criticism of McGregor, who is known for his ability to generate attention for his fights, both through his impressive fighting skills and his outlandish personality. However, some fans and fighters believe that McGregor's hunger for attention sometimes comes at the expense of his fighting career. Makhachev also expressed doubts about the quality of Chandler's recent UFC performances.
But honestly, that was a
suggesting that Chandler's knockout of Dan Hooker in his UFC debut was not as impressive as it seemed. Despite his skepticism about McGregor and Chandler, Makhachev remains focused on his own fighting career and is currently preparing for a matchup against Thiago Moises at UFC 264 in July. With a record of 19-1 and a 5-fight win streak, Makhachev is considered one of the top contenders in the lightweight division and is widely expected to challenge for the title soon. Makhachev also made headlines when he claimed that Michael Chandler lost on purpose in his fight against Charles Oliveira, so he could secure a matchup with Conor McGregor. Makhachev made the comments during an interview with MMA Junkie. Following his win over Dan Hooker, there was speculation that Chandler could face McGregor in a high-profile matchup. However, Chandler's next fight was against Oliveira for the vacant UFC lightweight title, which he lost by TKO in the second round. In the aftermath of the fight, Makhachev suggested that Chandler may have intentionally lost to set up a fight with McGregor. He doesn't believe Chandler fought his best fight, and that is because he believes Chandler had other plans. He knew if he won, he wouldn't have a chance to fight McGregor, but if he lost, he could call him out. Makhachev believes Chandler lost on purpose for this, and only for this reason. These comments will raise eyebrows in the MMA community too. Claiming a fighter may have compromised his integrity doesn't sit well. There is no evidence to suggest that Chandler intentionally lost the fight, and the idea of a fighter intentionally losing is considered one of the biggest taboos in the sport. Regardless of the veracity of Makhachev's claims, the prospect of a Chandler-McGregor matchup remains a tantalizing one for UFC fans. McGregor has expressed interest in fighting Chandler in the past, and a win over the former Bellator champ would be a significant feather in his cap as he looks to regain his status as one of the sport's top fighters. We'll catch you ringside or in the next video.